What's up, Fooligans? It's time to react to Fooligans. Today we're checking out Lost Media Iceberg. I have no idea what that is. It is a video on the Blame It On Jorge channel, suggested to us by fellow Fooligan Vixid. Did I say that correctly?
VXID.
What's up, Fooligan? I have no idea what this is, and I would like to know what this is, especially since it's, an hour long?
Yeah, it looks like an hour long, so we're definitely not going to watch the whole thing in just one sitting. At least not react to it in one sitting. So we're going to watch the intro, level 1 and level 2 today, and then we'll catch up next week and we'll break it down like that. Maybe
apparently there's levels to this shit.
Yeah, it's on another level.
So without further ado,
let's do what it do.
May contain material not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion advised. What are we about to watch, bro?
I don't know, I'm scared.
Is this a documentary? Iceberg.
So lately, these iceberg images have become a trend online. They're usually made for conspiracy theories, with the tip of the iceberg containing some of the most well-known conspiracies. But the deeper you go down, the stranger and darker it gets.
Yeah, I saw a meme with Godzilla at the bottom of the...
People have taken this format and applied it to all sorts of properties. Pokemon, Zelda, and most famously, Super Mario 64.
Seen this at all.
Today, I'd like to take you through the Lost Media Iceberg. A few notes before we get started. Yes, as you may have noticed, it's in Spanish. That's because this was made by Shiki, creator of the Lost Media Wiki in Espanol. So shoutouts to him and Dysphoria for letting me use this image. Second, the Lost Media scene is just different in Latin America than here. I'll be excluding some of the Spanish-specific pieces of Lost Media and include some different ones to fill the void. Anyways, let's dive in. This is the Lost Media Iceberg. How many do you know?
A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob SquarePants deleted scenes. With an over 20-year run, SpongeBob has amassed a stockpile of deleted scenes on the cutting floor.
Deleted.
The reasons for their deletion can range from simple writing concerns to more scandalous issues, like when a recent episode cut a scene referencing Squidward's suicide from rebroadcasts.
What?
Of the scenes that have yet to resurface, include the appearance of Mrs. Puff's dad, which Tom Kenny is credited for voicing, despite the character never appearing in the series. Clockman. I made a video about this, which I'm pretty sure most of you have seen thanks to YouTube's recommendation.
That's freaking creepy.
Yeah.
That looks like something out of a kindergarten book.
Yeah.
But those books that were like just those books that just no one ever read and no one ever opened.
Right. And it's not because they were meant to be creepy, it's just they are creepy. It's not like Goosebumps that it's a book written to be creepy.
No, it's not a horror. It's a
Right.
It's a story about a little girl, and this story looks like it's about a little girl and a clockman who's ominous and lurks in the shadows. You know what? Let's let it play. But
yeah.
But in short, in 2012, a user named Commander Santa recollected a short he remembered watching as a child. He described it as being about a young boy who gets snatched by the titular clockman. The mystery surrounding this description was enough to incite a 5-year-long search for the described short, spanning across multiple forums and websites. After much deliberation, the short was eventually found in 2017. As it turns out, the film had just been uploaded in high quality by its current rights owners, AAA Studios. After being sent the video, Commander Santa confirmed that it was the same short he saw on that fateful day, putting the search to rest. A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants. I also made a video about this, so go check that out. But in short, A Day with SpongeBob SquarePants is a mockumentary said to have been made by Regal Films without the permission of Nickelodeon. After discovering Amazon listings for the film and finding the concept laughable, users on 4chan began attempting to purchase copies of the film to no success.
It does.
After months of contacting everyone they could find related to the production company, they eventually made contact with the film's supposed creator, who claimed that it had never been made. The film was supposedly written but never completed. He claimed that they would crowdfund the rest of the film that following year.
Hashtag creepy ass music.
This never happened, and it's unknown if he's telling the truth. Doraemon 73. Doraemon is an iconic character in Japanese pop culture, largely due to the television adaptation produced in 1979. However, what many people don't realize is that this wasn't the character's animated debut. 6 years prior, a company named
What in the Alice
NTV
in Wonderland
Video
am I watching?
made the initial attempt to serialize the character. In spite of relatively good ratings, the show was abruptly canceled due to the studio going bankrupt. Consequently,
Unfortunate.
many of the staff didn't get paid for their work, and the original
What?
reels were either sold or destroyed in dissolution. Urban legend says that due to the IP owners disapproving of the series, all of the episodes were destroyed in a cremation fire.
Wow.
This isn't true, however, as the show is said to be preserved in private archives. Due to legal complications regarding the show's rights, few materials have surfaced online. Cry Baby Lane. Cry Baby Lane is a made-for-television film that premiered on Nickelodeon in the year 2000.
This was on Nickelodeon?
The film never aired outside of the US,
Whoa.
and for the longest time had never been rebroadcast after its premiere.
Bro, what?
Consequently, the film was largely forgotten. Until 2011, when I read a thread recollecting the film began garnering attention. Here, it was speculated that the film had never re-aired due to some unforeseen controversy,
Wow.
such as parents complaining to the network that it was too scary.
What was it about?
Because the speculated backstory fell in line with many lost episode creepypastas. That is, until a copy of the film was discovered a few days later and released online. This prompted Teen Nick to re-air the film that Halloween, and revealed that the film hadn't been banned, but instead simply forgotten.
Oh,
Rude Removal. Rude Removal is the title of an unaired episode from the Cartoon Network show Dexter's Laboratory, in which Dexter and his sister Dee Dee are accidentally split into pairs, reflecting the polite and rude portions of their personality. Intended to air in 1997 during the show's second season, it was rejected due to the episode's excessive profanity.
what?
The episode remained an elusive rumor as a result, until its existence was publicized by Rebel Taxi in a short segment advocating for fans to campaign for its release. A few months later, Cartoon Network's nighttime block, Adult Swim, posted a tweet gauging interest in the episode being aired publicly. The response was overwhelming, and on January 22nd, 2013, the episode was officially released online.
I gotta
Mario
watch that.
64 2, Bowser's Revenge.
What did it do?
With Super Mario 64 being a smash success as the console's launch title, it's
Get it?
no
A
surprise
smash success. Get it? Smashing.
that considerations for a sequel began shortly thereafter. Of course, these plans were eventually abandoned, with the next installment instead culminating in Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube.
Yo, I used to love that game.
However, many were curious as to if a direct sequel to the game had begun production before Sunshine was conceived. In particular, the sequel was believed to be a scrapped project from the shortly lived Nintendo 64 disk drive. Prior to its discovery, there were speculations as to what the scope of the project was, as well as how much of it had been completed. Sources claiming to have been close to the project stated that it was in fact intended to be a sequel, seemingly confirming suspicions.
Yo.
However, these statements would be contradicted when a copy of the project was found at a thrift store in Japan. Disappointingly, it seems that the project was never intended to be a sequel, instead serving as simply a tech demo to demonstrate the hardware's potential. Unreleased songs by Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's massive catalog of unreleased music has been long sought after due to his talent and legacy. The majority
People
of these
just
remain
forgot about
entirely
this.
unknown to the public, with hundreds said to be sitting on the late musician's hard drives. Given the broad definition of unreleased music, which can range from fully mastered tracks to one-off demos,
To features
it's unlikely
even.
his entire
Yeah, or
catalog
Or
will
songs
be
that he
released.
wrote that other people
Though
performed.
it's clear that Sony is handpicking the ones they feel could still hold up. Food Fight, the original version. Released in 2012, Food Fight is infamous for being one of the worst animated films of all time.
Oh, that's...
Spending over a decade in
You don't remember
development
this?
hell, the film
No,
had an
not at all.
estimated budget of $45 to $65 million. So, what happened? Well, in 2002, development was abruptly stopped when hard drives containing all the film's progress were supposedly stolen.
It was a
forcing the
great
film to be
concept, but it
entirely
was
remade
just
from scratch.
horrible.
The original film was apparently over halfway complete, meaning that if the hard drives hadn't been stolen, it would have looked passable and have been released nearly a decade earlier. However, no suspect has ever been named publicly.
Yeah, for a
with
movie
not
like
even
this
a
to come
hint
out in
of who the culprit
2012.
could have been. With no leads as to where the hard
I
drives
mean, it would have
could
been
be,
better than Cats.
It's unlikely the original
Yeah,
film
that
will
came
ever
out, like,
resurface.
2 years ago? Yeah.
Toy Story: The Black Friday Reel. Pixar's first feature-length film, Toy Story, arguably popularized the trend of computer animation we see today. However, when Pixar first began developing the project, they had an entirely different audience in mind. These storyboards, from when the film was still intended for adults, are from what is now known as the Black Friday cut, aptly named for its far darker tone than the original.
But that did
This
happen,
version of the
though.
script had apparently been fully scripted and storyboarded, until Disney executives began reviewing their progress and threatened to cancel the film.
But that's
so
what
far,
really happened. He
only a
threw him out the
2-minute
window.
sample of this cut has been released, known as the Black Friday Reel.
don't know.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I did hear
Phantom
about
Blood.
that, but I don't remember what made it different.
Though many are familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure's later adaptations, many are unaware of the series' 2007 film Phantom Blood, which had been produced to commemorate the
Phantom
anniversary
Blood?
of the creator's career. This is because after its limited Japanese run in 2007, the film never aired again. While the exact reason has never been specified, a multitude of issues have been cited as the explanation, ranging from the film's poor reception to general licensing issues. Johnny Quasar. In 1995, DNA Productions debuted a 40-second long demo featuring an incarnation of the character
Oh,
Jimmy
no.
Neutron.
I had a feeling,
Instead,
too.
his name was Johnny
The
Quasar.
name Johnny Quasar, I immediately
Yeah, and when I saw the head, I was like, that's-
because you know what a quasar is, right?
No.
Look it up.
All right.
And I saw the rocket coming. I'm like, there's no way. And then a kid with a big head.
Yeah, the head is so big.
Oh gosh, got a blast.
This tech demo was impressive enough
He
to
looks
not
so
only win
weird.
2 awards at the conference,
Don't talk
but
to
catch
me,
the
you
eye
weirdo.
of a producer
Jeez.
who'd eventually fund the pilot
my
that
God,
was
stop
pitched to
looking at me.
Nickelodeon. Despite contact being made with both creators of Jimmy Neutron, as well as
His
those
eyes
who
came out
attended
his
the
socket.
conference,
You saw that?
the demo wouldn't surface until 2017,
His head
when
looks
Johnny
like a loaf of
Quasar's
bread,
voice
bro.
actor uploaded the Kablam! Final episode. Nickelodeon's
Kablam!
Kablam!
Yo!
Scheme of
You remember
things.
this show?
Yeah.
Unavoidable in the Lost Media community due to how elusive it seems to be. The show avoided receiving any home media releases, was rarely rebroadcasted,
This show was mad
and may
raunchy.
never be
It
re-released
was, yeah.
officially due to
Extremely.
licensing issues. The most elusive part of the show, however, was its series finale, Just Chillin'.
Yeah, I remember
Due
this.
to the show's obscurity and poor documentation, even finding evidence of its existence was difficult, until the episode re-uploaded in 2016. This was because the show's creator, Mark Merrick, eventually confirmed
Mark
its
Merrick?
existence, and announced that he'd be posting them in full to his website. Cleopatra. Cleopatra is a 1917 silent film starring Theda Bara. Considered one of the actress's most daring roles, it became infamous at the time for
'Cause she's
posing
playing
in
a black
risque,
woman?
nearly nude outfits.
Is that why?
The film was eventually targeted by church organizations, who began attempting to obtain all copies of the film to destroy it for obscenity. Though historians attempted to save
Yes,
as
it's quite
many copies
obscene
as
that
they
she
could,
would play.
the last known copies of the film were said to have
black
been
woman.
destroyed in a studio vault fire in the 1930s. El Apostol. Released in 1917,
Sound familiar?
El Apostol is considered the world's first feature animated film. Produced in
Really?
Argentina, the film consists of a total of 58,000 frames, resulting in a runtime of 70 minutes. The film was a satirical take on the then Argentine president. It was well received by critics at the time, and was a commercial success. Sadly, however, the only known copy was destroyed when its producer's film studio burned down.
Wow.
Crack Master. Crack Master, or Cracks, is a short from Sesame Street about a young girl making friends with the cracks on her walls, who would form into animals and such. The search began in 2008
How come
when
I
a
never
man
heard of
named
this?
John Armin posted online about his memories of this short and how it haunted him, similar to the search for Clockman.
Interesting.
I also have a mini documentary about this search, and it's quite bizarre how it all resolves. Doctor Who. Nearly 100 episodes of the beloved science fiction show Doctor Who are currently missing. This is due to the BBC having a habit of reusing tapes for new episodes, scrubbing the previous footage from existence. By the 1970s, home media became popular, and the BBC began searching for these episodes through television stations and private collectors. Although a good amount was recovered, Doctor Who remains one of the most famous cases of lost media.
Who got me hooked to that in college? Somebody did.
Doctor Who?
Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat in theaters
I've
and
never seen
HBO
it.
Max this Friday.
Getting into level 2 now.
Mickey Mouse in Vietnam. Mickey Mouse in Vietnam is an unauthorized animated short film created in 1968. With a runtime of only 1
Join the
minute,
army and
it
see
was
the
made in
world.
protest of the Vietnam War as part of the
Why is Mickey
underground
Mouse
comics
join the
movement. It depicts Mickey Mouse being
Yep.
joyfully recruited
With the
for the
blicky.
Vietnam War before being shot in the head. It was shown around various short film festivals at the time,
Him in that boat.
winning several awards before
Steamboat.
never being seen by the public again. The film was thought to be lost for decades, though every so often a private copy would re-emerge at film festivals. It wouldn't
Word.
be fully released to the public, however, until a student
Wow.
recovered a version of the film from a scrap bin of his college. The film's
has a
official title
bullet
has
hole?
since been discovered to be
And he has a
Short
smile on his
Subject.
face. And it's a frown.
Drake and Josh pilots.
Wow.
Nickelodeon's Drake and Josh is one of the most beloved kids-oriented sitcoms of all time.
Who's that guy?
Though the first episode is considered by fans as the pilot, the actual pilot was produced in 2001, before Nickelodeon had greenlit the show. At one point, the entire pilot was uploaded to YouTube by show creator Dan Schneider himself, though for unknown reasons, he eventually privated the video. Over the years, mirrors of the pilot have resurfaced online, though they have consistently been taken down by Nickelodeon and Viacom, providing a possible explanation as to why Schneider had to private his upload. Empress Chung. Empress Chung is a 2005 animated feature film, developed as a personal project by the film's director, Nelson Shin. Spending over a decade in just pre-production, the film is notable for having been produced and released simultaneously
God.
in both North and South Korea. With a $6.5 million budget, the film was a financial failure in the United States, and to this day, has yet to see a home release. There has been speculation that a DVD release does exist in North Korea, though no evidence of this has materialized beyond word of mouth. The Backyardigans pilots. Before The Backyardigans was greenlit by Nickelodeon, the characters first appeared as a live-action pilot filmed at Nickelodeon Studios in the late 90s.
Interesting.
Titled Me and My Friends.
Oh, wow.
The characters
So
are
that
instead
was
portrayed in
around our
full-body
time.
suits with minor visual
That's wild.
differences. Not
They were
much else is known
competition
about
with
the
Barney
pilots,
and
as the
Sesame
only
Street, I
known
guess.
footage has a cumulative runtime of 3 seconds. Marilyn
What?
Manson's groupie.
What?
With a long history of being a provocateur, it should be no surprise that when Marilyn Manson made his first step into filmmaking, he would produce something unsettling.
Oh, Marilyn Manson.
Shot in one night, sometime between 1996 and 1998, Marilyn Manson's unreleased short film, Groupie, is said to have been so perverted and violent that his manager begged him to never release it, believing it could end Manson's career or even lead to his conviction. Filmed at an actual house party with unwitting guests, Manson tortures an actor he hired to play the role of a groupie to a crowd who have no reason to believe it's staged. It's said that at one point the groupie is tied up. Somehow Manson introduces a firearm, and a violent fight breaks out, causing bloodshed. Though Manson at one point teased a release of the film in 2016, for the most part, it seems that Groupie has been locked away forever, in fear of jeopardizing Manson's career. Sun Moon. During the peak of Sailor Moon's popularity in the early 90s,
Oh my God,
Toei
this was
struggled
my
to
shit
seal
back in the day.
redistribution deals in the North American markets.
And that used to be
As a
so
result,
scary.
They held a bidding war to determine who would deliver the franchise to America. One of these participants was Toon Makers, an animation and advertising company that worked primarily on feature films. Rather than producing a cost-effective English dub, they instead pitched a 17-minute-long pilot that only had half the episode featuring animation, replacing the other half with Power Rangers-esque live-action segments. This was, rather unsurprisingly, rejected, though some animation
He
cells
said
and scenes have
unsurprisingly.
surfaced.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something?
To leak
Can we
online.
pause it?
Sailor Mouth.
Sailor Moon was bad though. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
she was. She was.
I had a huge crush on her. You think the audio got that?
The uncensored version. Sailor Mouth is an infamous
Oh
episode
yeah,
of
Sailor.
SpongeBob
This
SquarePants.
episode is
Due to
gangsta
largely
dog. What you
revolving around the main
talking
characters,
about?
swearing, albeit bleeped out with dolphin sounds. According to SpongeBob's voice actor, Tom
What's wrong with
Kenny,
this?
they were told to use substitute words, but the voice actors found it too difficult, so they actually cussed.
Oh,
These
they
original
actually cussed.
recordings have yet to resurface,
Yo.
though are said to exist somewhere in Nickelodeon's archives.
that's wild.
GTA 64.
One-
I remember that.
In E3 1999, a port of the original Grand Theft Auto for the N64 was debuted privately.
I had
Supposedly
that.
halfway completed at the time of the event.
You did?
It
Yeah,
would have
second
had
grade,
enhanced graphics and
2002.
new levels,
Or 3.
though for unknown reasons was quietly shelved. So far,
Wow, I thought-
only alleged screenshots have
I thought-
surfaced from the game.
When I
No-
think about the progression of GTA, I think about this as the first thing. I didn't know this wasn't widely known. Why? Wow. You never played this or knew about it?
No, I never played it.
So your first introduction to GTA was what? Vice City, Liberty City,
San Andreas.
San Andreas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my first.
So everybody probably thought it was like a gangbanger type video game, only to find out that next thing was what, Vice City, and in Miami, and then it was all over the place. This was the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Footage ever making it to the public, and no confirmation that these screenshots are anything but
Yeah,
marketing.
Laszlo down there, Rockstar Games is they've been doing controversial stuff for a while. But yeah, it's crazy to me that the world didn't know about this, or this wasn't widely distributed. That this wasn't a major game out in the stores.
Yeah.
Talking loud into the mic.
Yes, sir.
American Dog. Before Disney's film Bolt was Bolt,
Stop it.
it was known as American Dog, and helmed by the director of Lilo and Stitch.
Really?
However, director Chris Sanders and the executives at Disney had far different ideas of what the film should be. The original plot of the film was far more surreal than what it was reworked into, and when executives attempted to meddle with the concept, Sanders rejected their changes. Eventually, he was removed from the project altogether,
Well then.
causing him to leave Disney for DreamWorks instead. Very few production materials from this period of the film have been released online, likely due to contractual agreements. Newt.
Yeah.
Originally
I heard
intended to
about
be
that.
released in the summer of 2011, not much is actually known about Pixar's Newt. The plot synopsis is said to have been similar to the film Rio, which was released after this film was cancelled. According to Pixar's president, Edwin Campbell,
How
he stated that the
convenient.
idea was scrapped during pre-production, eventually being replaced with Inside Out. It's unknown how much of the film was completed before cancellation, though concept art and supposed music from the film have surfaced online. Kurt Cobain's Ren and Stimpy.
What?
Before Kurt Cobain found success with his band Nirvana, he supposedly attempted to write a theme song for the series Ren and Stimpy.
That would have been perfect.
According to Stimpy's voice actor, Billy West, Kurt visited Spumco Animation headquarters to perform a song he'd written about the show.
Let you stay there. One day the scraggly kid comes in and said he wanted to write a song for Ren and Stimpy, and they said, yeah, that's great, and they threw it in the wastebasket, and it was Kurt Cobain.
Freaking idiots.
There is no evidence of this event ever occurring, and it's possible that the voice actor just made it up as a joke. However, some speculate that a demo of this song may exist somewhere in his archives. Astrology with Squidward. These were a series of little-known shorts that Nickelodeon would air sometime in the early 2000s.
What?
Showing
would've been
Squidward
perfect for you.
explaining some of the different zodiac signs: Cancer, Taurus, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Leo. This is a unique piece of Lost Media because it was rumored that the other zodiac signs also had their own shorts, but they were lost. However, we now know that they never actually existed. Sesame Street, 847. This is a long-lost episode of Sesame Street that is notable for being apparently frightening to young viewers. It featured Margaret Hamilton reprising her role as the
That's
Wicked
not
Witch
a
of the
man.
West, losing her broom in Sesame Street. She then tries to find it, resulting in all sorts of shenanigans. Though there are a few images online, the full episode was only aired once, and has never been officially released. Sesame Workshop also does not plan on including it in their big archive for the AAPB. Yeah Yeah Beavis 1. From June 1989 to September 1990, a strange game known as Yeah Yeah Beavis 1 has been seen in multiple gaming magazines. No one knows what this game truly is, as it was never released.
That concludes level 2. So we saw the intro, level 1 and level 2. There's definitely gonna be a lot of researching for me. Kablam, that's what it was.
Kablam.
Yeah. The final episode, was it? I don't remember that. I don't remember saying that.
Into the stars, cause my name is Johnny Quasar.
That's wild. Johnny Quasar.
His head looks like a
I was
loaf
thinking
of
of
bread. It was haunting.
I had a feeling that in SpongeBob the actors would actually cuss because it was too hard for them to kind of think of bad words. But the fact that
I want to
had
hear
that-
SpongeBob and Patrick. I really want to hear how Patrick sounds cursing. In his because that sounds like it'd just be funny. Like,
funny as hell.
you know,
Yeah.
we're just kids. We're still kids on the inside.
Yeah.
We want to hear that. That sounds hilarious.
Now that Clockman, whatever that was, that looks very trippy. I'm glad I was not around to see that. Because that's something that can mess with you if you see that as a kid.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and please make sure you get in the comments and tell us what you think of the video so far. We're gonna watch the rest of these videos eventually throughout the upcoming weeks.
All right.
Until next time, Fooligans.
When it's time to react to Fool again.
Peace out.